Hey guys, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. Today we're at Land Rover of Shreveport, and this is the 2023 Land Rover Range Rover Velar. This is the R-Dynamic S that we're going to be taking a look at, and I'm going to let Carrie give you a quick look around. I'm going to step out of the way and give you a few details as to what we have here with this model. If you're looking for a vehicle that has distinctive styling inside and out, the strong 6-cylinder engine under the hood, and high-quality materials in the cabin, as well as comfortable front seats, this is most certainly something that you should consider. The exterior color on this model is called Lantau Bronze, and the interior is Oyster, light oyster. We'll show you a little bit more of that when we get to that area in just a minute. So let's take a look here at the front end. LED headlights with signature daytime running lights. Those are also LED. Really a very nice look, kind of a J look here, like a Jaguar, right? I say Jaguar, not Jaguar, because I'm not British, so no one jump me in the comments on that. But it does have that kind of a J design to it right there with the blinkers. That's why you want to use your blinkers when you're driving down the road, folks, because people will be impressed. They'll say, that looks really cool, and that person's a good driver. So, very nice, elegant looking headlight design right here. It's going to be the headlight washer. That's part of the cold climate pack that's also going to include the heated windshield washer jets, and the heated steering wheel. Today in Northwest Louisiana, we can actually use that. It's a little chilly out here, believe it or not. A lot of gloss black. A very nice look here with the front grille. You're going to have the Range Rover logo with the raised lettering here on the hood. Tell me what you think about that. Should that be something that's more sunk in? What do you think about that? Does it really matter? As we work our way down, we're going to find active air vents on each side right here. Probably kind of hard to see that, but this does go actually all the way through the fender right there. Going to improve gas mileage. More of that gloss black right here, as well with the front lip right here. I wouldn't call that a front splitter necessarily, but it does look nice. The depth right there really gives it a more aggressive look. It just wouldn't look right. It would look too high off the ground, but you do have air suspension, so if you say you want it higher off the ground or maybe a little bit lower, you can adjust that. So, now that we've talked about that, let's take a look here. One more thing I'm going to have Carrie show you from probably that side is better, but I'll talk about it from right here. These are not active, they're decorative. They look like air vents. They're going to have the Range Rover logo on them right there. But it does kind of break the hood up just a little bit because you don't have a whole lot going on here. You've got a little bit of an indentation right here in the middle, but it does look good. It works. Speaking of the hood, let's open it and see what's underneath. All right, at the price point that this model has, you would expect that you could just open the hood just like that. And there is the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. It makes 247 horsepower and 269 foot-pounds of torque. And how about those all-important MPGs? 20 city, 26 highway, 20 combined, and according to Range Rover or Land Rover, you use 4.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles you drive. And to bring that home just a little bit better, this model has a 21.6 gallon gas tank. Also, it's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And how about tire and wheel size? 265 on the width, 40 on the sidewall size, and you might think with that fairly low profile sidewall, might not ride very well. We'll find out on our test drive later on. That is a big honking wheel right there. Well, it doesn't honk really, but it is a big wheel, 22 inches to be exact. More gloss black as we work our way down the side right here. Everything decorative here. That is not functional, but it is there. And real quick, I'll let Carrie give you a look at the remote right there for you. You can see that it has the Land Rover logo on the back, a little bit of chrome on the side. Tell me what you think about the chrome. Should that be gloss black to match everything else we have here? You do have your turn signal indicators built into these heated power folding side view mirrors, and you can see that they do fold a little bit there. One thing I really like here is those door handles right there that when you lock the vehicle, they go back in. When you unlock it, they come back out and reveal themselves. That's really a nice look, and overall, really just kind of gives it that bit of elegance, I guess you could say. I do like the fact that you have the two-tone here with the gloss black on the top to accent what we have down here. Privacy glass in the rear, and the shark fin antenna. Also a very nice rear roof spoiler. You take a look at how it's designed. That is not just to look good. That's actually designed specifically by Land Rover to help improve aerodynamics. You're reducing drag that way. So all of that perfectly done, perfectly engineered. I'm not an engineer, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that, but one thing I really like back here, what's missing? The rear window wiper. It's not that it isn't here, it's just tucked away underneath this rear roof spoiler, always giving a nice look. And the rear tail lights, another very nice, elegant look, just the right size, somewhat on the thin side, but still big enough to definitely get the job done. It just speaks elegance. You're going to look at that all over the exterior of this Velar. But that's not the most important place. Let's see what's on the inside as we start with our rear cargo area. Okay, let's open the power rear door and reveal the rear cargo area. And I'll let Carrie give you a look around inside there real quick as I give you the numbers. 34.4 cubic feet up to 70.1 cubic feet. And if you're wondering about towing, I'll give you some information on that real quick. 1,653 pounds, which means basically you can tow a trailer and not put anything on it. Okay, sorry Land Rover, we're not trying to be mean or anything. Just having some fun here. Right here is the spare tire. You might have noticed in the undercarriage shot, you didn't see that underneath the vehicle. Well, it is here. And here's, you might think, well, that's kind of awkward that the floor would be in the way like that. There's no hook to hold it or anything like that. Well, it's removable. So you don't have to worry about that. That's nice and easy. You're also going to have, if you're wondering what's over here, I'll just show you real quick. Here is the fuse panel. So if you're a MacGyver type of person and you need to repair, put a new fuse in, well, you know where the fuses are now. We'll put that back in. It's probably harder to put that panel, take it in and out than it is to take the fuses in and out. So, got a cargo cover right here if you wish to use that to conceal away whatever you've got back here. But you might have more than that. That is removable. So what I'm going to do is let Carrie stay where he is. I'm going to show you how to maximize your cargo space. And there's a couple of different options on this that make this really nice. So I can lower the seats flat. Obviously, both sides are going to do that. But let's say you have people sitting here and you're saying to yourself, well, what if I need to put something through just this middle area? You have the pass-through right here. That works really well. Very convenient. Quite a bit of space here. Speaking of space, let's hop in here into the back seat and see what you have. All right, let's say real quick before we hop into the back seat, I know say we were doing that, we're gonna do this first. I wanna show you something important here. Now you notice this is really low. Now for some people that may actually work, but if you say to yourself, I want that rear door to open all the way, well, I'm gonna shove that all the way up. Then you've got the button right here. Hold it down until you hear the beep. It takes a little while. Okay, there we go. So demonstration time. Let's see if we can get that to come on down. There we go, come on, there we go. Real life demonstration, real time demonstration here for you. And when we open it back up, it's gonna open all the way. So in case you were wondering, the setting to change the door height is not in the vehicle anywhere. It's right here. All right, now that I've woke up from my nap, because you see this recline in the seats, it's actually quite comfortable back here because of that. So let's look at the door panel on the passenger side there. You're gonna notice that you have obviously the door handle. You've got the controls for lowering and raising the window, and obviously the door bin down there. A pretty good sized door bin. And then we also have the, well, I guess you could call that a mat pocket of sorts right there on the rear. Also, right here, we're going to have the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. Dual air conditioning vents on the rear of the center console. And you do have heated outboard seats, so that's very nice. But notice what's missing here. You only have one option for connectivity. I guess you could put a 12 volt in there with an adapter for 2 USB connections if something like that exists. But I am kind of surprised that there's nothing else here as far as USB connectivity goes. Okay, if you're wondering about the recline on these seats, yeah, you can actually raise it and lower it. I'm doing that via a button that's down on the outside of both sides of these seats. So that is doable. And also, you got the latch system here with the child safety seat anchors. The one thing that is a little bit of a surprise here is that they come out like that. It'd be better if they stayed in place or they were spring loaded or something like that. That's something you have to keep up with for you parents. It's not as if you don't have enough to keep up with your kids as it is. Now you have to keep up with those covers. Okay, we're gonna start out here with the front seat now, and I'll let Carrie give you a good look at the passenger side door panel. You have the chrome look to the door handle right there, so if you like that chrome, it does give it a nice elegant look of sorts. The extra buttons right there on the armrest, and then a little bit larger door bend. So if you like larger door bends, you better call it shotgun, or you better make sure you have the remote in your hand. And then right here, we're gonna have the gloveless glove box. Notice there's no gloves in there, but you do have the box for the key that it comes with. That's there, and I'll let Carrie go ahead and hop inside, because what I'm gonna do is wait until he's in here before I start things up, just so you can hear the sounds of getting into your Range Rover. All right, gonna have a little bit more of that kind of piano black finish here above this area of where it looks like there should be an upper glove box right there. There isn't, but I guess that's only on the Range Rover Sports and the Range Rover models, but it is what it is. I'll let Carrie come over here and give you a good look. Like I said, this is the heated steering wheel. You also have a very nice looking instrument cluster there. Not much to talk about, but pretty easy to use, and you can make some changes and go through a lot of information via these steering wheel mounted controls. And again, that bright finish right there, a real polished finish. Again, the piano black, it just looks nice. You've got your shifter paddles right here if you wish to use those, depending on what driving mode you are in. You can use those. I like the fact that they're fairly large right there, so easy to get down and get your hands on. Also going to have that rarely used turn signal lever right there. People use that to change the settings for their lights, but don't use it to change lanes and to turn in front of people and things like that. See, I pushed it up to the right position, or the top position. That means you're going to the right. Into the down position means you're going to the left, and it lets people around you know what you're doing. I know a lot of you don't understand that, but it's there. And right over here, can't say anything sarcastic about it to make you laugh, but that is obviously the control for the front and rear window wipers. Now, what you're going to notice here is while this is the same look, it's a different operating system. The Pivi Pro, very nice system, easy to use. Here's your navigation. There's so much there to be able to use. I'm not going to go into that too much, but there is a lot of functionality there. Very nice, very usable. It is user-friendly. While it is a very nice system, it's nice that you have all the information about the vehicle here depending on what you're doing. It does have some off-road capabilities no matter what people say in the comment section who have never owned one. But yeah, that's right, you notice that owners never say anything about what it can't do off-road. And then we'll look through some of our apps right here. You can pretty much see what is there as far as what you can do with the vehicle. Don't have to go into reverse to see the camera angle. There is the only camera here is going to be the backup camera. So I'm going to show you what you can do with that. You can look at that from a couple of different angles depending on what you want to do. So let's move down to the lower screen and I'll show you what all is there. And we'll start right here on this side. Here you can change where the air is flowing. You can sync those together so that everything is at the same temperature, as you can see right there on both sides, or you can unsync that. You can turn it on to auto, and if you want to change the temperature or the range of the ventilated, or excuse me, heated seats, you don't have ventilated here, heated only, but today we actually need that. It's actually pretty cool outside. So you can also do that right here within the screen. Oh, you know what? I take that back. It does have ventilated seats. Imagine that. There we go. I just didn't go far enough. So we do have ventilated seats. That way nobody corrects me down in the comments section. You can turn that off if you want to as well. Now, what about vehicle settings? If you're wanting to turn off that auto stop start feature or turn it on, you can do it. You can turn it off like that. And here's the thing about that. That's not only an issue with the starter, even if the starter is beefed up, people will say that a lot of the time, but when you're constantly starting and stopping the engine like that, it's actually not good for the bottom end of the engine, for the crankshaft, for the bearings. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. We're moving on quickly. Just trust me on that. And obviously some other features here for controlling the vehicle as far as what you can do and all that good stuff. So let's take a look at what we have right here, our different driving modes. Dynamic program selected right there. If you want to drive an eco mode, well, you can do that. Not sure why you'd want to, but you can if you want to, because it's the most boring mode, although it probably saves you the most gas. Comfort, I can definitely understand that, especially driving on. One thing that's really interesting here, I did talk about how this vehicle has air suspension on it. Here's something cool. When you go into mud and ruts, it automatically starts going up. It raises the vehicle. You can actually see that as we're sitting here in the vehicle. Now you can raise and lower the vehicle yourself. I'm going to put it into a different mode and you can see that it's going back down, but I'll show you how you can do that yourself if you want to. It's via what you have right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that. The vehicle is going to go back up. We're actually going down now, okay. So we're letting it out, I guess. Let me push the other one and see if that brings it back up. There it is, going back up again. So if you're wondering where all of that is, well, all of that functionality is within the screen right here. So let's see here. I'm going to go over here real quick. I do want to do one thing. If you're wondering about screen angle, well, here's how you change that, and it's kind of different from what you might expect. If you notice, you would think that it would go this way, go down with this button or this option, but it actually is this one right here. And so it's interesting. It used to be that you didn't have to tap the screen right there like that. You could just hold it down like this and it would go down. Apparently that's changed for whatever reason, but I'm going to put it back up in this position because I like it there. When you turn the engine off, it will go back down into its regular position, and when you start the engine back up, then it will come back up to where you held it initially. You have a couple of options down here just so you can see what's here. We can go to audio, and we can also go to all if we want to, or we can go back to quick. Speaking of the vehicle, let's take this vehicle, this Velar, out on the road for a test drive. All right, we're out on the road, and let me cover a couple of things I didn't before. You do have a very nice and bright heads-up display. I give you the best shot that I can on the screen of that. Sometimes that's a little hard to get with the camera, but it is there. And you have a fully adjustable tilt and telescopic steering wheel. The thing that's different about it, I guess because it's a British vehicle maybe, is that the adjustment is on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. I was looking on the left and thinking, oh, it's not power, and then I reached underneath, there was nothing there, and then I reached over on the right-hand side and realized, okay, so there we go. That's where the knob is, or the switch to adjust. So we're cruising along here. The ride quality is very nice here. You would expect that in any kind of a luxury vehicle. It floats along on the road pretty well. We are driving in dynamic mode, so a little bit of a different situation there, but I'm sure in comfort mode it would be even better, but it's not bad here by any means. The handling characteristics are good. One thing that you do sacrifice typically when you have a smooth ride quality is you're going to have a little more body roll because the shocks and the suspension aren't as stiff. They're not set up as stiff as they would be otherwise, and so that all contributes in the respect of the ride quality of the vehicle. The handling is sure good, and obviously you can raise and lower the vehicle if you want to, depending on how you want it to handle. That will make a little bit of a difference based on center of gravity. The steering wheel is leather wrapped, comfortable, but there's so much here that you almost can't do when you're driving, or shouldn't do when you're driving, because a lot of it's within the infotainment screen. You can adjust the air conditioning and the heated seats and the ventilated seats and the fan speed, but there are a lot of other things you pretty much need to be stopped to deal with. So not too bad though. And you do have, it's not terribly hard to see. I have a little bit of a blind spot back there over my right hand shoulder, but you have blind spot monitoring. That takes care of that problem and pretty much eliminates it. You're going to have the cross traffic alerts front and rear, all that good stuff. All those great safety features are here. But overall, like I said earlier, these front seats are nice and comfortable. I'm not riding in the back today to tell you what it's like back there, but probably not going to be a whole lot worse, or worse at all. I don't know if it's as comfortable as it is here in the front seat, but it is what it is. And even with the 4-cylinder engine here, Still plenty of pep, plenty of get up and go, but you do have other engine options depending on what it is you may desire to have under your right foot. So tell me what you think down in the comments. Is this 2023 Range Rover Velar the ultimate mid-size luxury SUV? Tell me yes, tell me no, and give me an explanation as to why you answered the way that you did. Got to say a special thanks to my friends here at Land Rover of Shreveport for loaning us this Range Rover for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you'd like to see other videos of other vehicles we've reviewed for you to consider, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.